Dear friends, let me begin with a simple but important question. Have you ever woken up in the morning, tested your blood sugar, and felt discouraged because the number was higher than you expected? Maybe you went to bed thinking you had done everything right. You ate carefully, you took your medication, but still, the morning reading was too high. This is not just your story. Millions of people living with diabetes experience the exact same frustration. The medical term for this is the dawn phenomenon. Around 4 to 8 o'clock in the morning, your liver naturally releases stored glucose into the blood to help you wake up. For people without diabetes, insulin rises gently and keeps sugar balanced. But in type 2 diabetes or prediabetes, this mechanism is exaggerated. Instead of a gentle rise, blood sugar can climb sharply, sometimes reaching 130, 150, or even 180 milligrams per deciliter before you even eat breakfast. Now, here is the surprising truth. What you drink first thing in the morning can either calm this dawn phenomenon or make it worse. Most people start their day with coffee. Coffee can give energy, but for many diabetics, coffee on an empty stomach spikes cortisol, a stress hormone. High cortisol tells your liver to dump even more glucose into the blood. The result? Higher fasting sugar, more insulin resistance, and a roller coaster that lasts all day. Others reach for fruit juice, orange juice, apple juice, or even so-called green juices. Unfortunately, these are liquid sugar bombs. 1 cup of orange juice contains about 25 grams of sugar. That is equal to 6 teaspoons. Yes, you may get vitamin C, but you also get a glucose spike that can rise faster than soda. Then there are people who drink sweetened tea, energy drinks, or flavored coffee creamers. These not only raise blood sugar but also add chemicals, artificial flavors, and unhealthy fats that stress the pancreas and liver. Now imagine a different picture. Instead of coffee, juice, or soda, the first sip you take after waking actually lowers your blood sugar, hydrates your body, and prepares your metabolism for the day. Imagine starting the morning with stability, not chaos. With calm energy, not crashes. This is not fantasy. It is supported by both ancient tradition and modern science. In fact, a 2023 analysis in the journal Diabetes, Obesity and Metabolism confirmed that morning hydration and low glycemic beverages improved fasting glucose, lowered insulin resistance, and even supported kidney function in adults with type 2 diabetes. So, what are these drinks? The answer may surprise you. They are not exotic powders, expensive supplements, or miracle cures. They are 3 simple, affordable, everyday drinks: water, unsweetened plant-based milk, and unsweetened herbal or green teas. Before we dive into each one, let me make something clear. These drinks are not magic bullets. They will not cure diabetes overnight. But they are powerful tools, especially when added to a lifestyle that includes balanced nutrition, movement, and proper medication as prescribed by your doctor. Think of them as natural allies, small changes that create big results over time. Why morning drinks matter so much, you may ask. Why focus on the very first drink? Why not just pay attention to lunch or dinner? The reason is biology. Morning is when your body is most sensitive to signals. Overnight fasting, dawn cortisol, and liver glucose release all combine to create a unique metabolic window. If you choose the wrong drink, like coffee with sugar, you amplify stress hormones and worsen insulin resistance for the next 6 to 8 hours. If you choose the right drink, like water, plant-based milk, or tea, you calm the system, improve insulin sensitivity, and set a healthier rhythm for the entire day. It is like the first note in a symphony. Play it wrong, and the whole piece feels off. Play it right, and everything flows smoothly. 13. Quick look at the science. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that morning hydration improved glucose. Transporters, known as GLUT4, helping. Cells pull sugar from the blood more efficiently. Sunanantirdardi at Harvard found that people who replaced sugar-sweetened beverages with unsweetened plant-based options had a 36% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Another clinical trial in phytotherapy. Research demonstrated that drinking cinnamon tea in the morning reduced fasting blood sugar by nearly 20% after just 12 weeks. This is why we focus on the first drink. Because the science is clear, your morning choices matter more than most people realize. Setting expectations. Now, let me set clear expectations. Some people hope for dramatic drops, 15, 20, 30 points in a single day. For most, the effect is more subtle. 5 to 10 points lower fasting sugar, less mid-morning fatigue, fewer cravings, and steadier energy. But over weeks and months, these small differences add up. Your A1C can improve, your kidney function can stabilize, and your risk of complications can decrease. This is what we mean by healing through daily habits. Small steps, repeated consistently, that create a healthier body from the inside out. Before we move on, I want to hear from you. What do you normally drink first thing in the morning? Is it coffee, juice, water, or something else? Write it in the comments below. Your answer may surprise you and inspire someone else. Water, the forgotten medicine. The first and most essential morning drink for anyone managing diabetes is plain water. It sounds too simple, almost boring. Yet water is the most underrated blood sugar stabilizer we have. Unlike pills, powders, or supplements, water works quietly, naturally, and powerfully to reset your metabolism every morning. Why morning hydration matters. During the night, while you are asleep, your body loses water through breathing, skin evaporation, and urine. Even if you do not notice it, by morning you are already in a mild state of dehydration. For someone living with diabetes, this state matters more than most people realize. When the body is dehydrated, the blood becomes thicker. Glucose concentration rises. Insulin has a harder time moving sugar into the cells, and the kidneys struggle to filter excess glucose. This means your fasting blood sugar may be artificially high, not only because of the dawn phenomenon, but also because your body simply lacks enough water to process glucose efficiently. In fact, scientists have found that dehydration as little as 1 to 2% of body weight can raise fasting glucose and reduce insulin sensitivity. That could be just 1 to 2 pounds of water loss in an adult. Scientific evidence. A landmark study published in Diabetes Care in 2011 found that mild dehydration significantly increased the risk of developing high blood sugar and type 2 diabetes. People with low daily water intake had up to a 60% greater chance of insulin resistance compared to those who drank more water. Research in nephrology. Dialysis transplantation showed that individuals with better hydration status had slower progression of diabetic kidney disease. This effect remained true even after adjusting for age, blood pressure, and medications. Another study from the University of Connecticut demonstrated that dehydration increased cortisol and vasopressin, both hormones that raise glucose levels and worsen insulin resistance. This means water is not just a neutral drink. It is an active metabolic regulator. How water supports the diabetic body. Water helps in at least 5 major ways. Dilution of glucose concentration. By increasing plasma volume, water lowers the concentration of glucose in the blood, making it easier for insulin to work. Kidney filtration. Kidneys filter nearly 50 gallons of blood per day. Without enough water, glucose clearance slows. Hydration lightens this burden and protects the delicate glomeruli from oxidative stress. Hormonal reset. Dehydration raises vasopressin and cortisol, both of which push blood sugar higher. Drinking water lowers these signals, calming the metabolic rhythm. Digestive support. Morning water stimulates peristalsis, helping the intestines move smoothly. This is especially important for diabetics with gastroparesis, where nerves slow digestion. Nerve protection. Water balances electrolytes like sodium and potassium, which keep nerve signals stable. Without hydration, nerve endings become more sensitive, leading to tingling or burning sensations common in diabetic neuropathy. Practical morning routine. So, how much water should you drink? The answer is not a single magic number, but a safe range is 250 to 350 milliliters, or about 8 to 12 ounces. Within the first 30 minutes of waking, sip slowly over 5 to 10 minutes. Do not gulp quickly, which can stress your stomach and kidneys. Think of it as gently waking your body with hydration. Recipe, option 1, room temperature water with the juice of half a lemon. The vitamin C and polyphenols in lemon improve liver detoxification and reduce inflammation. Recipe, option 2, water with half a teaspoon of chia seeds. Chia provides soluble fiber that forms a gel, slowing glucose absorption from your first meal. Recipe, option 3, water with a tiny pinch of Himalayan pink salt, only if your kidneys are healthy. This adds trace minerals like magnesium and potassium, which support insulin sensitivity. The dawn phenomenon and water. For many people with diabetes, the biggest struggle is the dawn phenomenon, that unexplained morning spike in blood sugar. Why does it happen? Around 4 to 8 a.m., hormones like cortisol and growth hormone signal the liver to release stored glucose. For healthy people, insulin keeps this under control. But for diabetics, insulin is insufficient or less effective, so the sugar keeps rising. Drinking water does not eliminate the dawn phenomenon completely, but it softens it. By diluting plasma, reducing cortisol, and signaling to the kidneys to start flushing, water helps prevent fasting glucose from climbing too high. It is a simple, natural buffer. Common myths about water. Let us address a few myths. Myth 1. Water flushes sugar out of the blood immediately. Truth. Water does not neutralize sugar instantly. Instead, it supports your kidneys so they can filter glucose more effectively throughout the day. Myth 2. Cold water burns more calories. Truth. While cold water does require your body to warm it slightly, the effect is tiny. For diabetics, room temperature or warm water is better because it is gentler on digestion. Myth 3. More water is always better. Truth. Overhydration can stress the kidneys and dilute electrolytes. Balance is key. Aim for half your body weight in ounces per day, unless your doctor gives different instructions. Safety reminders. If you have kidney disease, especially stage 3 or higher, be cautious. Too much water can overwhelm weak kidneys. In that case, follow your nephrologist's advice on daily fluid limits. Also, if you are on blood pressure medication, drink your morning water at least 30 minutes before your pill to avoid dizziness from sudden fluid shifts. Fun facts and engagement. Did you know that your brain is over 70% water? Even mild dehydration can impair focus, memory, and mood. For diabetics, who are already at higher risk of cognitive decline, this makes morning hydration even more important. Here is another fun fact. Long-term studies show that people who consistently drink adequate water have a lower risk of developing kidney stones, a condition that is more common in diabetes. I want to know from you, do you normally drink plain water? Or do you add lemon, salt, or seeds? Comment below with your favorite morning water recipe. Now that you understand the science and the benefits of morning hydration, let us move on to the second drink. This one is creamy, delicious, and has become a modern replacement for cow's milk. And for people with diabetes, It is far more blood sugar friendly. Unsweetened plant-based milks. The second healing morning drink for people managing diabetes is unsweetened plant-based milk. Many of us grew up believing that cow's milk was a perfect food. Good for bones, good for growth, and good for energy. But the truth is, for people living with diabetes, traditional dairy milk can present some problems. 1 cup of cow's milk contains about 12 grams of natural sugar, mostly in the form of lactose. Even though it is natural sugar, it still raises blood glucose, especially in the morning when insulin sensitivity is already reduced by the dawn phenomenon. Some studies also show that certain proteins in dairy milk stimulate insulin release disproportionately, which may worsen insulin resistance over time. This is where unsweetened plant-based milks, like almond milk, soy milk, flax milk, or cashew milk, come in as game changers. They provide the creamy satisfaction of milk without the heavy sugar load. Nutritional comparison. Let us compare. Cow's milk, 38 Oz, about 150 calories, 12 grams of sugar, and 8 grams of protein. Unsweetened almond milk, 8 Oz, only 30 to 40 calories, less than 2 grams of carbohydrate and 0 sugar. Unsweetened soy milk, CHD, 8 Oz, about 70 to 90 calories, 4 grams of carbohydrate, and 6 to 8 grams of protein. Unsweetened flax or cashew milk, similar to almond, with very low carbs and calories, often enriched with vitamins and minerals. The difference is dramatic. A single swap from dairy milk to almond milk can remove over 10 grams of sugar from your morning routine. That is equal to 2.5 teaspoons of sugar. Science behind plant-based. Milks. A clinical trial published in Nutrition Research found that adults with type 2 diabetes who consumed soy milk daily for 8 weeks had significantly lower fasting, insulin, and reduced oxidative stress markers. A Harvard study following over 200,000 participants showed that replacing dairy milk with plant-based alternatives was linked with lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Fortified almond and flax milks provide vitamin D and calcium, both of which regulate insulin signaling. Vitamin D deficiency has been consistently associated with higher HbA1c and greater risk of complications like neuropathy and retinopathy. Almond milk is naturally rich in vitamin E. Just 1 cup provides up to 50% of the daily requirement. Vitamin E is a strong antioxidant that protects blood vessels from glycation, reduces inflammation, and shields pancreatic beta cells from stress. How they work in the body. Unsweetened plant-based milks support the diabetic body in several ways. Low sugar content. They prevent morning glucose spikes that would normally come from cow's milk or juice. Micronutrient fortification. Calcium and vitamin D support bone health and insulin function. Magnesium supports glucose transport. Vitamin B12 supports nerve repair, satiety, and appetite control. Soy milk, in particular, provides enough protein to calm ghrelin, the hunger hormone, helping you avoid mid-morning cravings. Gut microbiome support. Soy and flax milks contain prebiotic fibers and lignans that feed beneficial bacteria like bifidobacteria and Akkermansia, which in turn improve GLP-1. 1. Hormone release and insulin sensitivity. Practical morning uses. Here are some simple ways to use unsweetened plant-based milk in your morning. Recipe 1. Warm 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk. Stir in 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon and half a teaspoon of ground flax seed. Cinnamon contains compounds like cinnamaldehyde that mimic insulin, while flaxseed provides fiber and omega-3s. Recipe 2. For a heartier option, blend unsweetened soy milk with half a cucumber and a few spinach leaves. This creates a refreshing, low-carb smoothie that hydrates, nourishes, and stabilizes blood sugar. Recipe 3. Make chia pudding by soaking 2 tablespoons of chia seeds in 1 cup of almond milk overnight. In the morning, you have a fiber-rich breakfast that digests slowly and prevents glucose spikes. Common myths and mistakes. Let us clear up a few myths. Myth 1. All plant milks are healthy. Truth. Many flavored plant milks, vanilla, chocolate, or barista blends contain 6 to 15 grams of added sugar per cup. That is equal to eating a donut. Always look for the word unsweetened on the label. Myth 2. If it is plant-based, it must be safe for kidneys. Truth. Some plant milks are high in added phosphates, which can stress weak kidneys. For those with chronic kidney disease, choose almond milk with low phosphorus and potassium. Myth 3. Soy milk is harmful for hormones. Truth. In moderation, soy milk is safe. Clinical studies show that phytoestrogens in soy improve insulin sensitivity and lower LDL cholesterol. They do not cause hormonal imbalance in men or women when consumed in reasonable amounts. Safety reminders. Always choose unsweetened varieties. Even 1 serving of sweetened almond milk can raise blood sugar sharply. Avoid carrageenan, a thickening agent sometimes used in cheaper brands, as it may irritate the gut. Check sodium content. Some soy and oat milks have over 200 milligrams of sodium per cup. For people with hypertension, choose low-sodium versions. If you are allergic to soy or nuts, choose flax or rice-based milks instead. Fun facts and engagement. Did you know that almond milk has been consumed for centuries? In medieval Europe, almond milk was served in hospitals because it was easy to digest and safe for patients who could not tolerate dairy. Today, we are rediscovering this ancient wisdom in a modern diabetic-friendly way. I want to hear from you. If you could only choose 1 plant-based milk for the next 30 days, which one would it be? Almond, soy, flax, or cashew? Write your choice in the comments. Now that we have seen how plant-based milks can stabilize your morning, let us move to the third drink. This one has been used in healing traditions for thousands of years. It is soothing, rich in antioxidants, and surprisingly powerful at lowering blood sugar. I am talking about unsweetened teas. Unsweetened herbal and green teas. The third morning drink that deserves a permanent place in the life of anyone managing diabetes is unsweetened tea. Not sweetened bottled tea, not sugar-loaded chai lattes, but pure, natural, unsweetened herbal and green teas. For thousands of years, tea has been used in healing traditions from Asia to the Middle East, and modern science is now confirming what ancient wisdom has always suggested. The right teas can improve insulin sensitivity, reduce fasting glucose, and protect the very organs that diabetes tries to damage. Why tea is a morning ally. Unlike coffee, which can spike cortisol and create jitters, teas provide a gentle rise in energy while calming the nervous system. They are rich in polyphenols, catechins, and adaptogens, plant compounds that act like microscopic medicines. When taken in the morning, before your first meal, they can prepare your body for a smoother metabolic response throughout the day. 4 star players. Let us explore 4 specific teas that are especially valuable for diabetics. Cinnamon, ginger, green, and Tulsi, holy basil. Cinnamon tea. Cinnamon is more than a spice for baking. When brewed into a warm tea, it becomes a metabolic powerhouse. Compounds such as cinnamaldehyde and MHCP, methyl hydroxychalcone polymer, act on insulin receptors, making cells more responsive to glucose. Scientific evidence. Study in the Journal of Medicinal. Food found that cinnamon consumption lowered fasting blood sugar by up to 29 liters, 70 to 20% in type 2 diabetics. Another trial showed that adding cinnamon tea to breakfast reduced post-meal glucose spikes by 15 to 20%. Practical tip. Brew 1 cinnamon stick in a cup of hot water for 10 minutes. Drink it warm before your first meal. Ginger tea. Ginger has been called a universal medicine in Ayurveda. Its active compound, gingerol, stimulates an enzyme called AMPK, which increases glucose uptake in muscle cells and enhances fat burning. Scientific evidence. A 2015 study in phytotherapy. Research found that ginger supplementation reduced fasting blood sugar by 12% and lowered HbA1c after 12 weeks. Animal studies confirm ginger improves pancreatic, beta cell function and reduces oxidative stress in the liver. Practical tip. Slice 4 to 5 thin pieces of fresh ginger. Boil in water for 5 minutes and sip slowly. Green tea. Green tea is the most studied of all teas. Its star compound is EGCG, epigallocatechin gallate, trinantropoikihan, secumentintitufars, a catechin that improves insulin sensitivity, reduces oxidative stress, and protects the pancreas. Scientific evidence. Meta-analysis in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition reported that regular green tea drinkers had significantly lower fasting glucose and triglycerides. Another study found that daily green tea consumption reduced HbA1c by 0.3 to 0.5 points in adults with type 2 diabetes. Practical tip. Brew 1 teaspoon of green tea leaves or 1 tea bag in hot water, not boiling, around 80 degrees for 2 to 3 minutes. Drink unsweetened, ideally between meals. Tulsi, holy basil. Tulsi, also known as holy basil, is an adaptogenic herb used in Indian Ayurvedic medicine. Adaptogens help the body balance stress hormones like cortisol, which is critical for people with diabetes because high cortisol triggers liver glucose release. Scientific evidence. A randomized trial in India showed Tulsi tea reduced fasting glucose by 17% and improved lipid profiles in people with type 2 diabetes. Other studies show Tulsi protects pancreatic beta cells from oxidative damage. Practical tip. Steep fresh Tulsi leaves or a Tulsi tea bag for 5 to 7 minutes. Drink warm in the morning to calm stress and stabilize blood sugar. How these teas work together. Each tea has unique strengths. Cinnamon mimics insulin, ginger activates AMPK, green tea protects the pancreas, and Tulsi lowers cortisol. Together, they form a balanced team, improving glucose control, reducing inflammation, and protecting organs. Morning tea routine. You do not need to drink all 4 every day. Instead, rotate them throughout the week. Monday and Thursday, cinnamon tea. Tuesday and Friday, ginger tea. Wednesday and Saturday, green tea. Sunday, Tulsi tea. This rotation provides different antioxidants and prevents taste fatigue. Healing recipe combo. Boil 1 cup of water, add 1 cinnamon stick, 3 slices of ginger, and 1 Tulsi tea bag. Steep 10 minutes. This creates a powerful anti-inflammatory, glucose-lowering blend. Common myths about tea. Myth 1. Herbal teas are too weak to matter. Truth. Many contain concentrated phytonutrients. Their effects are cumulative when consumed daily. Myth 2. A spoon of honey makes tea healthier. Truth. Even natural honey raises glucose quickly. For diabetics, unsweetened is always best. Myth 3. Green tea must be taken in large amounts. Truth. More is not always better. 2 to 3 cups per day are effective. Excess can cause stomach upset. Safety reminders. If you take insulin or sulfonylureas, monitor carefully when adding cinnamon or ginger tea, as they can enhance glucose-lowering effects. Green tea contains caffeine. If you are sensitive or have acid reflux, choose decaffeinated or stick with herbal options like Tulsi or ginger. Always drink tea plain. Artificial sweeteners can trigger insulin release through brain signaling, even without sugar. Fun facts and engagement. Did you know that tea is the second most consumed beverage in the world after water? In many monasteries, monks use tea during fasting to maintain focus and calmness for days without food. Today, diabetics can use that same wisdom to reduce cravings and improve blood sugar control. Tell me in the comments, if you had to pick just one, which tea would you start tomorrow morning? Cinnamon, ginger, green, or Tulsi? Now that we have covered water, plant-based milks, and teas, let us bring everything together. In the final chapter, we will recap the science, share a simple step-by-step morning routine, address common questions, and give you a case study that shows how these 3 drinks can change lives in just a few weeks. Part 1. Frequently Asked Questions. Before we close, let us address some of the most common questions people ask about morning drinks and diabetes. Question: how much water should I drink first thing in the morning? Answer: start with 8 to 12 ounces, or about 1 regular glass. Sip slowly over 5 to 10 minutes. Too much water all at once can stress your stomach and kidneys. Aim for half your body weight in ounces across the day. For example, if you weigh 160 pounds, target about 80 ounces spread evenly. Q2. Can I drink coffee if I have diabetes? Answer: moderate black coffee is not harmful for most, but it can spike cortisol and may increase blood sugar in sensitive individuals. If you choose coffee, avoid sugar, creamers, or flavored syrups. Pair it with water or tea to offset dehydration. Q3. Are all plant-based milks safe? Answer: no. Only unsweetened varieties are recommended. Many brands of oat milk or almond milk contain 10 to 15 grams of added sugar per cup, which is equal to eating a small dessert. Always read the label. Look for unsweetened and avoid additives like carrageenan. Q4. What about artificial sweeteners in tea? Answer: even 0-calorie sweeteners like stevia or erythritol can trigger an insulin response through brain signaling. While the effect is smaller than sugar, the safest approach in the morning is to drink your tea plain. Q5. Can I add lemon, herbs, or spices to these drinks? Answer: yes, and in fact, it often enhances the benefits. Lemon in water provides vitamin C and antioxidants. Cinnamon in almond milk improves insulin sensitivity. Ginger in tea supports digestion and lowers inflammation. Just keep it natural, unsweetened, and balanced. Part 2. Case Study. The 8-week morning reset. Let me share a simple but powerful case study. John, a 62-year-old man living with type 2 diabetes, struggled with fasting glucose around 160 bars, mid-on DL, high blood pressure, and early signs of neuropathy. His mornings started with toast and coffee, which often left him jittery and hungry before lunch. At the recommendation of his nutritionist, John committed to an 8-week morning reset using the 3 drinks we discussed. Week 1 to 2. John began each morning with 10 ounces of water, a squeeze of lemon, and a pinch of Himalayan salt. He replaced cow's milk in his cereal with unsweetened almond milk. He swapped his second cup of coffee for ginger tea. Within 2 weeks, his fasting glucose dropped to an average of 145 g/L. Week 3 to 4. He experimented with soy milk smoothies, adding cinnamon and flax seed. he rotated green tea and Tulsi tea instead of coffee. He reported fewer mid-morning cravings and more stable energy. His blood pressure improved slightly, and he noticed less swelling in his ankles. Week 5 to 6. John continued rotating his teas. Cinnamon on Monday and Thursday. Ginger on Tuesday and Friday. Green tea on Wednesday and Saturday, and Tulsi on Sunday. His doctor measured his HbA1c, which dropped by 0.4 points compared to 3 months prior. Week 7 to 8. John felt confident in his routine. He reported sharper focus, improved digestion, and less tingling in his feet. His fasting glucose now averaged 128 mg/dl. His doctor reduced his medication dosage slightly and encouraged him to continue. This was not a miracle pill. It was not a fad diet. It was simply hydration, plant-based milk swaps, and healing teas, 3 natural steps, taken consistently every morning. Part 3. Recap of the 3 drinks. Let us review everything we have learned today. Water, the simplest yet most powerful morning drink. It dilutes blood glucose, supports kidney filtration, reduces cortisol, and prepares digestion. Add lemon, salt, or chia seeds for extra benefits. Unsweetened plant-based milks. Almond, soy, flax, or cashew milk provide hydration, nutrients, and protein without sugar spikes. They improve insulin sensitivity, support the microbiome, and protect nerves and blood vessels. Unsweetened herbal and green teas. Cinnamon tea mimics insulin. Ginger tea activates AMPK. Green tea protects the pancreas. Tulsi tea lowers cortisol. Together, they stabilize glucose, calm the nervous system, and reduce inflammation. When these 3 drinks become part of your morning ritual, you give your body the gift of balance, stability, and healing, all before breakfast. Friends, diabetes is not just about medication and restrictions. It is about building daily habits that work with your body instead of against it. Tomorrow morning, before you reach for coffee or juice, try starting with one of these 3 drinks. Sip water with lemon. Pour a glass of almond milk with cinnamon, or steep a cup of cinnamon or ginger tea. Notice how your body feels. Calmer, lighter, more focused. And if this video helped you, please do 3 things. Tap the like button to let YouTube know this information matters. Hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next health guide. Share this video with someone you care about who may be struggling with blood sugar. One small change in their morning routine could transform their entire day. Because your health is not defined by age or diagnosis. It is defined by the choices you make. One sip, one morning, one habit at a time.